folks, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about monetization and what actually happens when you hit the full monetization threshold. There's two right now as of the making of this video, where if you get 500 subscribers, you get some of the monetization benefits, but not the full ad revenue. And then when you get to 1,000 subscribers plus the 4,000 view hours, I think the view hours for the 500 subscribers is 3,000, but I may be wrong on that. There's also a separate threshold for shorts, which I'm not going to get into. But basically, when you get the 1,000 subscribers plus the 4,000 view hours, then you get the full monetization. The question you might have is, well, what happens after that? And what do you need to do before that? And that's what I'm here to talk about. So first, when you set your YouTube channel up, you'll very likely want to go ahead and set up everything ahead of time so that when you get monetized, there's no issues you got to work out. And what I mean by that is like your Google account, make sure you've got your two-factor authentication, all that stuff, email set up for your YouTube channel, whether you want your email address for YouTube channel to be, your public showing email address to be the email address you set up your YouTube channel with, or a different one. Having a different one is always a good idea. You want to go ahead and set up your potential payment options in Google as soon as you start your YouTube channel. Because when you do start your channel, you're going to get a lot of options. They're going to ask you a lot of questions. Some of those things you can skip, some of the things you can wait until you get monetized. You're going to want to have an address. All right, now this is important for one very good reason. Let's say you're somebody like me and you don't spend all your time in the United States. All right, and when your channel gets monetization, Google is going to send you a letter, like an actual letter, not an email. They're going to send you an actual letter to whatever address you have on file. That letter will have a PIN number in it. You're going to need that PIN number to verify your account once your monetization has been approved. Because once you hit the threshold, there's still a delay. It's like a week or two before your actual monetization gets approved, and then you can go to the next steps. So you're going to want to make sure that you either have access to that address, that mailing address to get that letter, or have someone there that you trust who can open that letter for you to give you that PIN number if, for whatever reason, you're outside of the United States. They're going to send that letter to whatever address you have registered. So think about this. If you make your channel in some other place, well, keep that in mind that when you get monetized, that's where that letter's going, unless you change that address in the meantime. So you got to make sure you keep that in mind because it's very important. You cannot do your monetization without that PIN number. Now, one thing I want to mention first is that for every channel, the time to get monetized is going to be different. For our channel, it took about 1.5 years, and it was slow going. I know for this channel, it's kind of a niche channel that doesn't have the most broad appeal. So lately, we've tried to make some videos with some wider appeal, but I'm going to get into that in a minute. It can take a while. You really have to be patient. Now, some channels blow up, with one video. That's just how it happens. You have channels that have been around for 10 years and haven't broken, 15,000 subscribers. The algorithm can pick your videos up and you can take off, or no one might ever see them. Some of it has to do with your subject matter, your thumbnails, your titles, your descriptions, all the little details that go into uploading a YouTube video, putting it out there. The timing of your video, is the subject matter relevant to that current time? So let's say I had a sports channel and yeah, I'm going to be blowing up during the playoffs and everything, but once that event is over, in a day or two, no one's watching those videos. Or do you have the kind of content where people can come back to it a year later and it's still relevant? So it depends on what kind of subject matter you're going to be digging into. For the example I just gave about sports, I have to be putting out videos constantly, because old sports videos don't do well. What you'll see on your channel, because we have 3 channels, 2 of our channels aren't monetized. So there's a difference in what you see when you upload a video on a non-monetized channel versus a monetized channel. You'll get a couple extra options in the upload process. One has to do with if you want to turn on ads or not, and if your ads or if your video is going to be suitable for ads, and any products that you may want to tag in your videos, because that option will open up to you once you're monetized, along with super chats and super thanks. You'll also start to see a revenue tab in your YouTube Studio. YouTube gives you a lot of information. They pretty much tell you everything you could possibly be looking for when it comes to the analytics. Analytics tab is very useful. Even before you monetize, it's very useful. If you're patient and you want to dig into it, you really can get an insight on the people that are watching your videos and how your videos are performing. For me, looking at the analytics and for this channel, it's difficult to kind of break out in this particular in the particular subject matter of our YouTube channel. So you kind of have to have videos that catch a lot of attention and hit that algorithm just right to kind of get those views out there. Now, what about revenue? That's the big question. I can tell you this, it's not much. Currently, right now, our channel is sitting right under 2,000 subscribers. So subscribe if you haven't, thank you. The revenue, as far as I know, you don't get your first payout until you hit $100. So we got our monetization last year, about a year ago in March, I believe. It took months. It took months for me to get $100. And that includes like, supers and memberships and stuff like that. Those things that you'll be eligible for once you get monetized. So we didn't do like a lot of lives or anything. So, it took a while before I ever got a super chat at all, which was $20. And YouTube takes nearly half of that. So it ended up only being $11 that I got. But that all added into that first $100, right? And like I said, it took months to get that first $100 because for a video, even one that's fairly good for your channel, let's say for me, if I get 1,000 views on a video, I feel like that's really good. 300 to 500 is like normal. And below that, the video just didn't pop. For 1,000 views, a video might earn me a couple bucks. I did have one video, this one, that had a really high CPM, and it ended up being like $11 and some change for 1,000 views. That's where it goes into the algorithm, and I can't really explain how YouTube does everything, but I do know that if you're talking like things about like finance, real estate, stuff like that, the advertisers just pay more. So keep that in mind. YouTube only pays out once a month. It's around like the 20th or 23rd or something like that. So the threshold, I have it set, I guess, I don't remember if it was like the baseline number that it could be set at, but I think I set it at $100. So anytime I make $100, they'll pay me out on the 20th or 22nd or whatever of each month. You can make some decent money if you have a video that blows up. And fingers crossed, I have one of those one day, who knows? But for us, we really just focus on trying to get as many subscribers as possible. I don't do this to make a living. Right now it costs me money, but for anyone who's trying to do this and trying to get monetized, I'd say stick with it. It could take a while. If you already have some equipment to use and you already know how to edit, it's not really costing you anything. And it's really great experience. I've learned a lot about trying to make videos. If you watch my videos from the beginning to now, you'll see there's some differences because I just learned a lot. I learned a lot of techniques and gotten a lot better. So hopefully I get to make better content. My other channel I use for practice, really. That's the channel that I talk about movies, TV, games, and stuff like that. My wife has her separate channel where she gets to just spout her opinion about whatever she feels like. And we both get to practice on subject matter. I would say this, when it comes to YouTube monetization, keep at it. Don't get discouraged. It takes a while. It really does, especially if you're building organically. And don't go in for any scams that people are trying to say, oh, I can get you this, I can get you that. Just let it build organically, because a lot of that scam stuff that you see, it's all fake. And they might get you subscribers, it might get you views, but it doesn't get you any kind of retention. And that's what really matters with YouTube. That's my monetization story. And if you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments. Like the video, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching.